This is the Te Patukeha's Urupa. You can see it's slightly different than the Ngāti Kota one, in that they're all in family lines. They're all in family lines and they're all facing the same direction, which is east. Different than Pouroa. My personal feeling, I feel more comfortable in this Urupa. In actual fact, it's a beautiful place. I like to acknowledge my sister and Blaine and Jack, my two nephews. And if you have a look at the lines where we fit in on this line. If you have a look over there, with the ahi tapu, our tupuna, we can fit in on that line, which also connects us up to the Warana or the Heke Whanau, who were also very ariki to this area and for Ngāpuhi as well. Okay, the original Urupa used to be down the bottom as you come in on the beach. And that was closed off because it used to flood a lot. So our tupuna there, Rewiri, decided to bring everybody up here on the dry land. The sad thing about the Urupa and even the other one, it's landlocked. It's landlocked by private land. So as you come up, we call the walk up here, the stairways to heaven. You're walking through foreign land to get up here. It belongs to the Goodfellow family. They are one of the wealthiest families in New Zealand, is the Goodfellows. They own all the pine plantation. They've always given us access here. There's been nothing put down in writing, which actually is a problem, a worry for me, because who knows, in the next generation might turn around and say, oh well, we'll stop all those Māoris coming up here. Never ever happened because we're going to ignore them anyway. But anyway, this Urupa, when we used to have tangis here, we used to start from Rāwhiti Marae, and we always used to bring our two papakus, our tonga, our deceased, on the waka. We used to sail them around because we are water people, coastal people, and so we used to bring them around on the boat. That was before the road comes through. Now it's all changed. Now you get some who pass away who expressly wish to actually take their last journey on the Moana, and they come around here and they bring them up here. It's not all lost. The whānau, the Goodfellow whānau, are going in the process. You can, if you see how all the other pine trees across the road has been harvested, not here, is because the two hapus here are entering into negotiations with the Goodfellow family as to access to our Urupa here. We want a clear legal easement for our families to come up to our Urupa, and we're going through that process now. And we're also looking at the beach down there where the waterway is, the creek there, to drain it and to also set it aside as a reserve. But the gate's always going to be locked, and that reserve is only going to be for the Patukeha and Ngāti Kota descendants to be able to come and enjoy this beautiful area. We look at this place as a place, especially down Omakiwi, as a place where we can actually come visit, relax with our families on the beach there, take a walk up here and see our tupunas up here. Now, while I'm on it, I might as well tell you about the mamai, another mamai, and it's not a blame game with with the Pākehā or the Pākehā government, that's how it is today. Now originally the road never used to come through here. The road only went as far as the Hakaraias, which is the old corrugated iron kāinga as you're coming in, and that's where the road actually ended. Before that, it ended in Parakura Bay. So the only way to get here was through horseback or by boat. And then in the 70s, they had a paper road that went over the back there from the Hakarai's homestead that went over to the back and then came in behind the school, and that's where the paper road was. What actually happened, if you have a look at all these peninsulas, you got a lot of wealthy Pākehā came in and they bought a lot of land here. And I must say this actual area here, this land here actually belonged to Puke Ahitapu, which was Rewari's brother. He's the whakaawa on our marae with the beard, and he's holding his moko. This was all his land. How it got alienated, well, there's so many stories. I better not tell you how it got alienated just in case I got wrong. I'll go back to the road. So in the 70s they had this bright plan because all these peninsulas needed access, so they influenced the politicians, the council, to all of a sudden forget about the paper road and come around here and put the road round to access all the peninsulas of the wealthy. And then they went through, they carried on right to Kai Marama, right at the end of the road. And all the old people, in actual fact, didn't want the road to go through. They were quite comfortable living the way they were. And no road actually controlled the access into the Awhiti. And our mātua at the time, Walter Mountain and his wife actually sat in the middle of the road. That's the first house past the marae. They sat in the middle of the road. And of course in them days we were insignificant people. The workers just lifted them up, carried them aside and carried on with the bulldozers. So what's actually happened now, if you go through in Kaingaho there where the road is now in Hawaii, all that beachfront, as soon as they put the road through, we lost all that land. It became public land. It belongs to the council. And another mamai that I have is the council don't come out and maintain it. As you can see, parts of it is mowed, and we do all that ourselves. But that's a thing that we've got to actually sort out ourselves. If we're going to let the council get away with that, it's really our fault. So that's the Korero. Yeah.
I've got a question. Because we're down at the schoolhouse, my understanding is the Ahitapu family gave the land for the school, is that right?
Yeah, just on that one actually, that's a story in itself. In 1885, from that moment onwards, there were the Ahitapu and all the rangatira of the time from Ngāti Kota wanted to build a school because they could see that education is going to be good for our people. So they petitioned the Crown to actually build a school. Now, it took them, I think it was 12 years to agree to build a school. So they, first of all, they said, right, in them days, if there was a normal community who wanted to actually build a school, they can justify it by the numbers. Well, we had the numbers. And then the government will build the school free. But it was classified what they call a native school, which meant that the Māori had to actually not only give the land, but also maintain the ongoing payment of that school. So Ngāti Kota and Patikea put their heads together, and our tupuna there, Rewari, decided to gift all that land where our marae is, right at the back where the housing is. That's my contribution from Patikea. And they handed that over to the government. Ngāti Kota where all those big Pākehā houses are, all where the Wrights, the Hortons, that land was gifted by Ngāti Kuta to pay the ongoing costs of the school. Now, when they closed the school down in the late 60s, I think Julie, you went to that school, didn't you? This one here. Moira. And so anyway, when it was closed down in the late 60s, it returned. The government had to return it back to its original owners. But what they done is they returned it back to the community, which caused another grievance. It wasn't returned to its original owners, it was returned to the community of Te Rāwhiti, which was both hapus. And of course it was my mother and all the kaumātua at the time who actually took it to court, and it actually came back to its original descendants, which is us. The onset of that, it caused a lot of division between the two hapus, because that school used to actually maintain our main marae. And I went through a lot of mamai, through with my mamais to go to all the court hearings with all our kaumātua and queer from Patakea, and arguing for that land to be transferred back into its original owners. So there's been a number of wangawangas, riri amongst our people here from both hapus. But what do you do about it? You know, a lot of our people get staunch, and that's where they start flaring up at Waitangi Day. But to us here, we want to take the peaceful road and negotiate all these things through our treaty settlements. I'd just like to finish off by saying that, you know, if you look at our mother, she was part American,